Save it for later.
All right. Welcome to Inside the Paint. We got John here, and
Hello.
got Will's not here because he's asleep. Is he a bitch?
We're dead.
Yeah, or dead. But we got Kaelin. So we were gonna talk about the playoffs, but I think we're just gonna save that for like a longer episode. We're just gonna be talking about some topics and all that sort of shit. So first, John, you know about the NHL playoffs. Kaelin, do you know like the playoff format for it?
I saw that they just released it recently. I didn't read up on it much. So no, but
It's 24 teams basically. It's just a 24-team playoff.
Mhm.
So I'll just get John's opinion first. Would you want to see that in the NBA, or do you think that's too much?
24 teams.
Yeah.
I think that's too. I really like how they like. Have you guys seen the I guess mock playoff format that they're doing?
Mm-hmm.
I really like that format.
With like the 16 seeds and like no conferences.
Exactly. Just no conferences. Those are the teams that deserve it, right?
Mm-hmm. Kaelin, what do you think?
I mean, yeah, no, I feel like conferences, they kind of just clump the same teams together, like consistently. I like the mock that they did, where it's just a mosh pit of everyone.
Right. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like if it's 24 teams, if they said they wanted to get the new, like after this season, they wanted the new season by Christmas, like a full schedule, and that's just too much for. I don't think they would be able to get 24-team playoff in a span of a couple months.
Yeah.
Yes,
well, it depends
especially when you're doing 7-game series.
Who knows if they? I mean, they might do best of 3 until like the top 16. Even then, it's still a lot.
Yeah.
But, all right. So next off, what do we got here? Paul Pierce. I gotta look it up. But Paul, John has a really big hate for Paul Pierce, and he just released his top seven players in the league. And it's not something that John likes.
I mean, it's somebody that nobody likes.
Exactly. Sorry. We'll just go over his top 5. His top 5 is number 5, Kobe, 4, Magic Johnson, 3, Bill Russell, 2, Abdul-Jabbar, and 1, Michael Jordan. John.
Yeah.
Actually, Kaelin, we'll start with you since yours is probably going to be a shorter response.
Yeah.
Do you think – so, like, if you were Paul Pierce – not if you were Paul Pierce. Where would you put LeBron in your top 5? Would you put him number 1, or would you even – obviously, you'd have him in his top 5.
Yeah, no, I would definitely have him in his top 5. I mean, don't get me wrong. The 5 players that he picked are all greats. But I would probably do some rearranging, throw LeBron in. I would probably put LeBron in number 1, but that's just
right.
because I think LeBron is like the all-time greatest player. Michael Jordan probably at 2. I don't know. It's a toss-up between, I'd say, Kareem, Bill, and Kobe. But I would definitely keep LeBron at 1 for sure.
All right, John, this is gonna be like a 15-minute response. Just start.
All I'm gonna say is I can't respect another man's opinion, especially when. Did you guys ever see Paul Pierce threw his headband out to fans after a game? Some guy caught it and threw it back.
They do that shit in baseball too. It's kind of funny.
Yeah, I can't respect any. I can't, like, if that happens to you, I can't respect your opinion. So I think Paul Pierce, whatever opinion he has, is instantly false, no matter what it is.
Dude, that Draymond clip of him talking to Paul Pierce, you ain't Kobe. That shit was so funny.
Exactly. Paul Pierce got bitched. That's simple.
He didn't say nothing after that. But John, where would you put? So just quickly, just say your top 5.
I got LeBron, number 1, obvious reasons.
Yeah.
I got Kobe, number 2.
Okay.
As of right now.
Don't say. I know what name you're gonna say. Don't say it.
I got Larry Bird.
Oh, never mind.
Who did you think I was gonna say?
James Harden.
Oh no, James Harden's like number
No.
6.
Okay. All right, keep going.
I got number 4 is gonna be Hakeem Olajuwon,
Mm-hmm.
and number 5 right now, Kevin Durant.
Okay.
Kevin Durant will, in my opinion, will be better than both Larry Bird and Olajuwon by the end of his career.
All right. And MJ.
Probably number 7 or 8, in my opinion. I think both Dwayne Wade and James Harden, and you can make an argument
Of course.
for Allen Iverson, are all better than Michael Jordan. I think he's just ass. Michael Jordan is not a good basketball player.
It's too late to argue right now, so I'm just gonna. Never mind.
He's garbage.
All right. You just said when you saw The Last Dance, it changed your perspective on him, and now it's changed
Absolutely.
back.
No. I thought he was like number 13 or 14 all time, and now he's like number 7 or 8.
Well, now I think you should watch it again and make that go up a little bit. But
if I watch it again, guys, first of all, that's another topic we have to discuss about. Is literally everyone is saying that Michael Jordan has lied in The Last Dance. Everyone. Scottie Pippen, Horace Grant, John Paxton, all these guys are coming out, and after they watch The Last Dance, they're like, this is not how we were, this isn't how we were actually, playing the game. Like, it seems like Michael Jordan did all the work, when that's not the fact. Horace Grant, quote, said 90% of The Last Dance was bullshit. I mean, that's...
Well, I guess I'll add it to the topic board for next time.
You need to.
Yeah.
All the MJ hate was just edited out.
Okay. But at least you're still in your top 10. I'll take it.
Barely, but yes.
Okay. So going off that, speaking of Jordan, you posted on our group chat Jordan's era versus today's era, like a modern era sort of matchup.
Mm-hmm.
So obviously you probably have your sort of decision already. So I'll just go to Kaelin first. So out of these starting fives, which one do you think will be obviously win? Mm-hmm. So today's era, you got Steph Curry, KD, LeBron, Anthony Davis, and Giannis.
All right.
Or you got John Stockton, Scottie Pippen, Michael Jordan, Charles Barkley, and Olajuwon.
I'm going to try to stay unbiased here. Honestly, I would take the newer era. I just think it's a lot faster pace. And I mean, I know the older era, I mean, there were a lot of rule changes since, in the newer days, but I do think that the newer era would come out on top. And I mean, it would probably be a dogfight for sure.
Right.
Because I mean, they're great players for every single team, for both teams. But I think the new era would come on top for sure.
Even like I know today's era will win because of the shooting. They got John Stockton, yeah, but he can dish the ball. They got Scottie Pippen, but you can't. Steph Curry and KD again with LeBron.
I feel like it'd just be unstoppable. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, John, did you not read like the description for it in a 7-game series?
Yeah, it said 90s refs.
Yeah, so 90s refs. Kaelin, does that change your decision or no?
It wouldn't change my decision. I would just say that the game would be, I don't know, tilted towards the older era. Mm-hmm. But I still feel like the newer era would definitely pull through.
All right, what do you think the series total would be?
7-game series. I feel like if the newer era could get on a run, they could definitely go up 4-2. But I do think that the old era would probably they would definitely take maybe a home game, at least one home game for sure.
Yeah. I think I'd probably say today's era in 6. That's probably my guess.
In
All right.
6.
If it's 90s refs, John,
Yeah. I say 7.
I still say 6.
Really?
They'll be shooting the ball from the 3 a lot more. And with Curry and KD,
Yeah.
they'll make it in most of the time.
Yeah, for sure.
And honestly, now that you mention that, I mean, the only 3-point shooter that 90s era has would be Jordan. And Jordan's not even that good of a 3-point shooter. So it does make a lot of sense.
So I'm guessing you'd say today's era in 7?
Yeah, I would. But the only things that I would have against today's era, it would be Charles Barkley against Anthony Davis. I mean, Charles Barkley's, I think, as a basketball player, Anthony Davis is better. But I think Charles Barkley would definitely dog on Anthony Davis for a little bit, especially like in the first half.
Is he your top player without a ring?
Charles Barkley?
Yeah.
No, Allen Iverson.
Yeah. Is he in your top? Is he your number 2?
He's probably number 3 or 4.
Okay.
I'd say Karl Malone is number 2.
Karl Malone's number 2?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, maybe.
All right. So apparently, off of the Instagram post I got, Atlanta's trying to pursue DeMar DeRozan, and they wanted a trio of Trae Young, John Collins, and DeMar, and I guess Clint Capella too. But so how far? So like, say that this happened, how much of an improvement do you think that would be to their team? Kaelin, you can go first.
I mean, don't get me wrong, DeMar's a good player. But I feel like he's on like the end. He's on a downward slope in his career. Not because he's like losing skill. It's just like getting older.
Yeah, it's part of the sport. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just like the way that the game is progressing. DeMar's a good player, but like there are a lot better players coming up, and I don't know. I mean, he might be able to put up a fight, but I mean with Trae and all the other players, but I feel like the DeMar addition to the team would not be as beneficial as they would hope.
Right. John?
I really agree. I mean, DeMar is just not the player he once was. Like on the Raptors, for example, Raptors DeMar was so much better.
Oh yeah, well obviously they had him for most of his career. They kind of let him go towards his down. They knew that he was going to go downhill, and they just wanted a championship, so they got Kawhi for it.
Yeah, which in my opinion was the smartest trade.
Yeah, I know that was probably one of the weirdest. Like I get that, like at the time, DeMar was in his prime, but you kind of had to see that it's Kawhi. And I know he sat out and you needed to get rid of him, so you couldn't stop wasting all his money. But I'm sure there's a better trade for Kawhi than DeMar DeRozan.
Yeah, the biggest issue is like people weren't going after Kawhi. It was the Spurs were going after other teams because I mean you kind of have to get rid of Kawhi, and the Raptors GM knew that, so it was like, I mean, give us Kawhi for DeMar. I mean, that's a fair trade, right? Like,
right.
We're still getting good years out of DeMar, and you guys aren't getting anything out of Kawhi. So,
all right. So another Instagram post said that LeBron was trying to recruit Jamal Crawford and Steve Nash. My question is, with an older Steve Nash and Jamal Crawford, we'll start with John on this one. How many rings do you think that they would win?
Well, it depends on what year exactly.
Oh, now you're gonna make me fucking research.
Because if it's 2009, yes. If it's 2007, yes. If it's anything before, no.
All right, let me check. It does say 2009, yeah.
2009, then yeah, I think he's definitely going to win a ring in Cleveland, and he might honestly stay in Cleveland after that. in which case, would he? The question is, would he win another ring? Let's just say, for example, against Dirk, and I'd have to say he would, and then probably 11 and 12, maybe some breaks.
You
Spurs.
think with that status, he would, if they did sign both these players, you think like the world would see him as the GOAT instead of this whole debate with the amount of extra rings that he would probably win?
Honestly, I don't. I think the only reason people don't consider LeBron James to be the GOAT is because they're holding on to this fantasy of Michael Jordan.
They're stuck to the past.
They're stuck to the past. And the honest truth here is it's going to be very difficult to convince me that LeBron is not the GOAT. I'm not going to say it's impossible, but it's going to be very challenging. And a lot of other people, for example, Will is, again, going to be very challenging to convince him that Michael Jordan is just not the GOAT. So you have people like Will who are hell-bent on saying Michael Jordan's the GOAT.
Mm-hmm.
And you have people like me who are hell-bent on saying LeBron's the GOAT.
Right. That's why I made the podcast. So.
Right, of course. Well, currently, more people are hell-bent towards Michael Jordan than LeBron James. And that's why the general overall consensus is Michael Jordan.
Yeah,
how you go ahead.
No, finish your thing. It's not some to interrupt you, but
so that's how people who really don't know much about basketball will say that, okay, well, Michael Jordan's the GOAT. And then when coming into an argument with someone like me who does know basketball, or someone like Kaelin who does know basketball, and we say LeBron James is the GOAT, those people are backed into a corner and then say, well, Michael Jordan is just my GOAT. That's just my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the issue that you have right there. But, to be quite frank with you, I don't think LeBron James winning those championships are going to convince the people who are already, to begin with, hell-bent on MJ being the GOAT. I think LeBron could have won a championship in every single year he's played, and he would still not be considered the GOAT. They would just say he's had teams to carry him. And
yeah.
We all know that he hasn't. But
who knows, in 20 years, 20, 30 years, there could be someone better than LeBron.
No.
Never. Okay. You get my point, though. That
I do.
There always might be somebody better.
I do.
But you're going to be one of those people that in 20 or 30 years, they're going to be debating that LeBron, it's just going to be a cycle.
And honestly, I don't know, though, because Luka might take that crown. I mean, I think Luka, it's hard for me to say this, but maybe next year, Luka will probably be the best player in the NBA. I think he was number 2 this year. So maybe next year. I mean,
I'm not saying I'm not on board with Luka. I just don't want to put all these statements out saying, oh my God, he's going to be the best in the world. I just don't know, because an injury might affect his whole career. And it could be one of those stories where like, oh man, he'd be great. He could be like a Derrick Rose.
If Luka gets injured, I will kill myself. I will miss out on Luka and Trey for the rest of my life. I will never be able to see that. I will kill myself.
I wonder. Okay, I guess this is like a little short, like impromptu question, but do you think, how many championships do you think D Rose would make if he didn't get all these injuries in his prime?
I say 2.
Yeah,
2?
I'd say 2 or 3 maybe.
Mm-hmm. I mean, yeah, I would say like 1 or 2. But
they keep JB.
Mm-hmm.
They keep what was his name? The tall dude.
Joakim Noah.
Yes, thank you. And I think, with those 2 younger guys, they could definitely build around them.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's an easy thing to build around, to be quite honest with you.
Yeah, I just don't know where the Bulls are going in the direction now. So they're just dog shit.
Because they keep drafting good players, but they need a good coach. Their coach
exactly.
awful.
Like I thought Markkanen, the marksman, I thought to be honest, I thought this year would be like his standout year, where there'd be a jump in numbers. But
I'm cheering for him, and I'm cheering for the Bulls because they have a really with Kobe White, what's his name?
Zach LaVine.
Zach LaVine, but the other guy, Markkanen.
Yeah. Well, who knows about LaVine? He might request a trade, but
I'm guaranteeing he's going to request a trade. I mean, he hates being on the Bulls.
Yeah. All right. So, I missed the topic. All right. So, another Instagram post. So it's a situation sort of thing. So you're the Wizards GM, and Bradley Beal requests a trade. I'm gonna list off. There's 6 trade offers here. Both you can give like a rating out of, 1 to 10, and you can pick which one is better after all I say them. So we'll just start off with the Miami Heat offer. So it's gonna be Bradley Beal. It's only for Bradley Beal. It's just straight Bradley Beal.
No picks or nothing.
No picks, no nothing. At least that's what I see. So you get Tyler Hero, Duncan Robinson, Iguodala, and a first. Kaelin, how would you rate that offer?
I think Hero's he's an alright player. He's pretty solid.
Yeah, he hasn't really made any big jumps yet.
Yeah.
He's a rookie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I'd give it a out of 10, probably a 6.5, 7-ish. I mean, it's not like the most solid trade, but I mean, you have the first round pick is nice. And then you have good players. I mean, Bradley Beal is a good player, so he's worth a lot, in my eyes at least. But I give it about 6.5 ish.
Mm-hmm. John,
I'd have to say about a 6.5, 7-ish. And honestly, I don't know if Bradley Beal is worth it.
Oh, about like giving up all these at least 2 young players.
Exactly. I mean, Jimmy Butler is still going to be around for at least a few more years. And, you use Jimmy Butler. We all know that you don't need a bunch of stars to win a championship. I mean, just look at last year. They had 1 star.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, Bam, what's his face?
Adebayo.
Yeah, Bam Adebayo. I mean, he was an all-star this year, but he's not really like a star. So let him develop into one. Let Tyler Hero, whatever you want to pronounce it as, let him develop. And I really do think he's going to develop into a star.
Mm-hmm.
And then you can have Duncan Robinson as a great 6th man and everything, and you win a championship with that squad. Guarantee it.
Okay.
Guarantee it.
All right, so next is the Nuggets offer. Gary Harris, Will Barton, and 2 first-round picks, 1 in 2020, 1 in 2022.
That's an awful trade.
That's probably one of the worst ones on here.
That was the worst thing I've ever heard in my life. If I was the Wizards, I'd laugh.
Yeah, that's not that.
That was a joke.
All right, Kaelin, I'm guessing you're not a fan of this one either.
No, I agree. It's just not worth it at all.
Yeah, no. This one is my pick. Karis LeVert, Jared Allen, and a 2020 first-round pick from Philadelphia and a 2020 second-round pick from Denver.
Both of those are second rounds?
No, one of them's a first from Philadelphia.
Okay.
One of them's a second from Denver.
Ooh, okay. What year for Philly?
I'm sorry, both 2020.
Ooh, okay.
Johnson, we'll start with you.
I'm going to rate it a 7. I'm going to rate it a 7.
7, okay.
Yeah. The Wizards don't have, like, any young guys, really. I mean, they have
Hachimura.
I was about to say Hachimura, but, like, who else do they have young-wise? They don't I don't really think that they should be trying to rebuild. They should be trying to get stars in. And if they are going to rebuild, get some stars that young guys that can actually do something with their life. Jared Allen.
You were just praising Karis LeVert before in
Oh
a
yeah,
couple podcasts.
He's a great basketball player, but I mean, he's been in the league for what, like 4 years now, and
Injured for.
He was injured.
Yeah, he's been injured for a while. He hasn't really caught back onto his groove, and I don't really think that we're gonna see a very high ceiling for Karis LeVert, and neither Jared Allen. So, like, if you're talking,
I still got some hope in Jared Allen.
I do too, but are we gonna see Jared Allen score 20 plus points a game?
I mean, no, but he might be efficient with the boards.
Great.
You could
I'm glad.
okay. You could
I'm
still
glad
average
we have a rebounder.
Okay, but you could still average like 13 points and 10 rebounds. That's a double right there. You're averaging a double on the.
That's fantastic. Or I could just get Andre Drummond, who gets 20 and 15.
Okay, well, you know what? There's only one Andre Drummond, so why don't you just talk to him? He can go. Just never mind.
Yeah, do you have his number? I can text him or something, but I think that's an awful trade as well. I give it a 6.5 to 7.
All right, Kaelin.
Yeah, I would probably give it a 6. I mean, I'm kind of a Karis fan, you know, coming from Pickerington. But yeah, I think that with his injuries, he just hasn't been able to, you know, get back into like the game and fully show his potential. Which that could change, but I don't really see it making a big jump from what he is right now. And Jared Allen is just, boards, but not much output for the team that's as efficient as another player.
Okay. All right. So next is the Bucks. So you got to think of it as Beal and Antetokounmpo as their duo. For Bledsoe, Donte DiVincenzo, DJ Wilson, and Indiana's first-round pick in 2020. Kaelin, we'll start with you.
You know, I'm struggling on the rating here. I think this would be for Beal and Antetokounmpo. I think that would be a pretty. I think it'd be a good pair for the Bucks. Granted, they're losing decent players, but you know, I'd probably rate it. I don't know. I'd give it a 7.
I mean, you also have John Wall if he comes back, and he's as good. So you can probably move either Eric Bledsoe or John Wall to the 2. You still got a young Donte DiVincenzo that who knows, he could become one of the better shooting guards. DJ Wilson, but you still got Indiana's first-round pick. And they weren't doing so hot, so it's at least an early to mid-round pick. John?
I kind of agree. I'd say around like a 7. It'd be a fantastic trade for Milwaukee. And judging by the fact that the Wizards, I think it'd be not a very great trade for the Wizards, but if they could, you know, put some guys with John Wall, I think that'd be a good trade. You know, Bledsoe can come off the bench and everything like that, and they can still get a decently young guy from Indiana's pick.
Mm-hmm.
Someone to help out with the load or something like that. But I don't really think it's a bad trade.
I think now that I read it, I think it's probably one of the best ones because I didn't see that first-round pick.
Yeah.
So next one is Toronto. Norman Powell, Terrence Davis, OG Anunoby, and 2021 first-round pick. John, we'll start with you.
I say a 6.5, only because of OG. I think he's a good young guy who can develop his game and you know all sorts of statistics. And if he gets his scoring up, he could definitely be a future young guy with Hachimura and everything. So I give it a 6.5. But I don't like how the Raptors are giving up Norman Powell. I mean, he's an integral part of that team right there.
Right. Kaelin?
Yeah, I agree with the rating. Raptors would be giving up a really good players, and I think that it's just losing those players that would help them. I mean, they'd be getting Beal, but losing a lot of players that are like crucial to their structure is just hurting them. So yeah, I'd give it a 6.5.
All right. So then the last trade is from the Pelicans, and then after this, you can decide which one of these 6 trades you want. Be for Lonzo, Akil Alexander-Walker, Darius Miller, and then a 2021 first-round pick. And you gotta think of it as 2021. They're making the playoffs.
Yeah.
So, John.
I'm gonna say this one is my go-to. I say this is like a 7 or an 8.
Really, because Lonzo's having an expired contract, so who knows if he would want to resign. That's probably why they're giving him up.
I mean, where's Lonzo gonna go? In my opinion,
He had a standout year this year. He probably getting more offered than what?
Lonzo did?
Yes, Lonzo did. Are you
He had a
dumb?
standout year. Are you kidding me?
It's better than all of his years on the Lakers.
Right, because all of his years on the Lakers, he averaged like 10, 5, and 5. This year, he averaged, 12, 6, and 7? Oh,
Want me to look it up right now?
Go ahead, look it up.
Okay, I will look it up.
All right, you better. If you don't, I swear to God, I'll stab myself in the face.
All right, he averaged 12, 6.
12,
Hold on.
6.
Hold on. And 7.
It's literally exactly what I just said.
In 56 games played, bro.
Oh, my fucking
He also
God,
had
this
the best 3-point
garbage.
He had 40% free throw. Oh, you know what I mean. His free throw was terrible. 56%, even though that is the best of his career. But his
So great.
3-point
I'm glad he's
okay, but his 3-point percentage is the best.
Shooter.
His 3-point, yeah, exactly. His 3-point percentage is best of his career. His field goal percentage
Because he
is the
takes
best
like
of his
2
career.
shots a game.
What?
Because he takes like 2 threes a game. He doesn't take any shots
He takes 11 average.
per game. Like
Yes, per game.
3-pointers or field goals.
Everything. Field goal percentage is
Everything. Okay, so let's realistically break it down.
okay. Go ahead.
Probably takes about 2 or 3 3-pointers a game.
7.
So you're telling me the man takes
He's
4 jumpers?
2.5 for 7 for 2.5 for 6.5 average.
So you're telling me, let's say 6.5. All right, he takes what, 11 shots?
Mm-hmm. And then he takes 4.7 2-point average. That's his average how many he takes per
So
game.
he's shooting more threes than jumpers.
Yeah, pretty much.
Realistically, he's basically shooting more threes than he is laying up the ball.
Well, yeah, because he can just dish it to Zion. He doesn't need to drive anymore.
Yeah, that's a good point.
He's got BI too.
You mentioned it. Yeah. Well, Brandon Ingram can, make his own shots. You don't need to dish it to him. I mean, he's a magician on the court.
I mean, I just don't think that the Wizards are a good place for him because it's just going to be like the Lakers again. Who did he have? He didn't have anybody to connect with.
Well, honestly, I think we're going to have Lonzo Ball is the next Steve Nash. In the beginning of both of their careers, they were pretty slow. Nobody thought much of them. At the end of their careers, they're going to be considered all-time greats. Steve Nash is an all-time great point guard. Lonzo Ball will be an all-time great point guard. He needs to humble himself a little bit, and then he needs to, finally, for once in his life, dig his claws in and everything.
So do you not think that this was one of the best years that he's had?
I think, obviously it's the best year that he's had.
Okay, so don't you think he would have more? Don't you think he would have more offers than the Wizards?
Lonzo, okay. What offers do you think you'd have if you were
It doesn't matter.
if you were any team in
Orlando.
the NBA?
I'm
Who's
just
he gonna
I'm just
connect with in
I'm just
Orlando?
I'm just listing off teams that need point guards.
Orlando does not need a point guard. They have Markelle Fultz.
Ass.
Are you kidding me? What
Anyways,
were his averages?
huh?
What were his averages?
I'm
I
not
bet
getting
his
onto this
average
because
is
I'm
like
trying to make this
15
a
points
shorter.
a game.
I'm trying to make this a shorter episode, okay?
No, you started with me.
No,
Now we have to finish. I'm just listen. You started it. I'm finishing it. It's how that's a,
Nah. All right. Which one would you pick for for your trade offer?
Pelicans. I'm choosing the Pelicans.
Okay, we can talk about it in the next episode.
I'm getting Lonzo Ball on my team, and Lonzo Ball is going to turn in. I'm going to have Steve. Now that I think about it, we already have John Wall.
Have fun re-signing them. Kaelin, which one would you pick?
I choose. I'm repicking. I choose the Raptors.
Okay. All right.
I'd probably go. I don't know. I think the Bucks was probably the most solid, the most stable trade.
That was probably my pick. Because you got Bledsoe that's good now, DiVincenzo that's up and coming, and then you got what?
I think Bledsoe's ass. Straight cheeks.
I don't know. I mean, I feel like Bledsoe, like Lonzo, could shape up to be a better player than they are now. You know what I'm saying?
Eric Bledsoe?
Yeah.
Isn't he like 30?
I mean,
I think you're thinking of Brogdon. You might be thinking of Brogdon. I don't know. I would take.
He's 30 years old.
Yeah, I take Bucks off it though. You still got that first round pick. You got it.
You have a Bucks first round pick. That's valuable. That's very valuable.
No, that's Indiana's first round pick.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah.
Okay, well, what seed are they?
Indianapolis?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Like 4 or 5?
They weren't that good. But in the East, they were 500 team.
That's a pretty goddamn good team.
But that's still like a mid-round pick.
I'd say the best you're gonna get with them is.
But if you offer
20.
the Pelicans, you're getting a 2021 first-round pick, where they're definitely gonna be a higher seed than Pacers are now.
You think the 2021 Pelicans are gonna be a top 4 seed?
Yes.
In the West.
Oh yeah, I forgot. Oh my God, dude.
Are they gonna beat the Lakers, the Clippers, the Rockets? Are they gonna beat the Nuggets?
You know what, John? Let's say we both won a topic in this debate. Let's both say we won a topic in this debate.
You won Lonzo Ball. I win this one.
Yeah, we'll take that.
All right, deal.
All right. See, that's Will. If you're listening to this, that's how you settle a debate.
That's called cooperation, right?
Exactly. That's why we're roommates. You chug that water. I see.
No, we're not, Luke.
You're coming back. I know you're coming back.
No, I'm not.
Yes, you are. All right. Last topic is finals. Just stop it. Stop it. Stop. Can we go on? Can we go to the next topic? Can we go to the next topic, please? I'm tired. All right, we'll just get Kaelin's opinion on it, and then you can just just cooperate yourself. All right, so okay, so the 2015 Finals MVP. Who do you think deserved him more? So you got Iguodala, and then you got Steph. Now, I'll list you off some of the stats. First for Iggy, it was 16 points per game, 4 assists, 6 rebounds, 1 steal. He went 52 from the field, 40 from the 3. But then you got Steph, that's 26 points per game, 6 assists, 5 rebounds, 2 steals per game. He went 45 from the field and 38 from the 3. So technically, Iguodala had a better 3-point percentage, but
right. Between Steph and Andre, I think Andre might be the more solid overall, like broad player, but I feel like Stephen Curry, That's tough. I think I'd probably give it to Iguodala still, just because he uh, overall contributed. I'm not saying that Steph didn't. Steph
Mhm.
definitely did, but it was more focused in one area. Whereas Andre definitely, I think he overall helped more than Steph did in one spot, or not one spot, but in a certain area.
Right here,
I like shooting.
I'll share my screen.
Mhm.
That's so you and John can see the stats, but
I'm looking at the stats right now, actually.
oh, okay. Well, there's a side by side right here if you want. All right. What are you picking, John?
Tough one.
I see you looking at my screen anyway, so.
No, I'm looking at Kaelin right now. I just want to make sure I'm making eye
How
contact.
you doing? How you doing?
It could be better. I got to deal with this fucking lunatic who's also on here with us. But no, other
Okay.
than that,
Okay.
I'm gonna say, honestly, this is really, really, really tough. I might have to go with Andre, and the only reason for it is I can't think of another player on the Warriors who's gonna slow LeBron James down.
Exactly. Yeah.
I mean, LeBron James already averaged, what did he average? Like 35, 14, and like 8 or something
In that finals,
in that final series.
I'm not sure.
But here, I can look it up right now,
Yeah.
actually.
Go ahead. But like while you're doing that, I just think that, I mean, I know this is not how it's like judged. That's not how it's voted. But if you're more efficient, you're a better contributor to the team. I mean, I know it's not that big of a difference in field goal percentage. I mean, kind of is. It's 8.8% better, but
Yeah.
that's how I think of it as. Yeah, he had more. Steph had more dishes, and I mean, it kind of balances itself out, kind of. But I still think that Andre was a better contributor to the whole team than Steph was.
It does. LeBron averaged 36, 13, and 9 that series. I
I'm sorry,
think
what was that?
LeBron is 36, 13, and 9.
Oh shit!
So with this recent, um, I guess,
New evidence.
yeah, with this new evidence, I'm gonna have to go ahead and put Steph Curry is the MVP because I'm looking at Basketball Reference here, and I'm looking at who did what. Draymond Green. Draymond Green averaged 13, 8, and 5. Klay Thompson, 15, 4, and 1. Andre Iguodala, 16, 5, and 4, as you guys can clearly see here. Or rather, 6 and 4.
Mm-hmm.
Steph Curry, 26, 5, and 6, blowing Andre Iguodala out of the water in the stats that really matter. If we're going to look at field goal percentage and three-point percentage, Steph Curry's is obviously going to be lower. He's not taking Andre
He's
isn't
taking,
taking
yeah, exactly. Steph's taking
nearly
more
as many
shots.
shots.
Mm-hmm.
That's taking way more shots and everything. I go down to the Cleveland Cavaliers. LeBron James. This just goes to show you guys, especially you, Luke and Will, how amazing LeBron James is.
I'm never saying that. I'm
The
like,
best player on
okay.
the Cleveland Cavaliers team in that finals, besides LeBron James, is Kyrie Irving. Kyrie Irving played one game.
Okay, can I just say? Can I say something real quick, John?
I suppose.
Okay. One, I'm not Will. You could change
No,
my
but
mind.
you still
No. Hold on.
go ahead.
I'm not dead set like Will is. Okay? I'm not. Oh, you could change my mind. And it's not as hard as you or Will's is to change mind about LeBron or MJ. Like
Can I
that
give you
right there. That right. What?
I think I can change your mind here.
Go ahead.
In 2000, what was it? What was the year LeBron went to the finals? It was 2007. LeBron James' best teammate averaged 15. It was 15, 6, and 2, I think.
Okay.
The next year, he went to the finals. We'll say, LeBron James didn't exactly perform the way we thought he was going to perform.
Mm-hmm.
2012 and 13, they won. 2014, LeBron's best player was Dwayne Wade. Dwayne Wade averaged a good amount, but Chris Bosh was one of the worst players I've ever seen in my life. And, I mean, Chris Bosh was just awful. And then we have, what's his face? 2015, I just stated to you guys that Kyrie Irving played one game. LeBron James' best teammate after Kyrie Irving was Timothy Mozgov.
Timothy Mozgov, my boy.
No, not your boy. He's atrocious.
You're right. That's not my boy. Algauskas is my boy.
Oh my God, Gauskas is also atrocious.
Okay, just try and change about. Keep going.
And then 16, statistically, the best team in NBA history, LeBron James beat, with a full roster, right?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And LeBron James won that series. I mean, we can't argue that.
Yeah.
And then 2017, they're going up against how many All-Stars? I think 5 All-Stars. And then 2018, I can already explain to you what happened in 2018. I mean, LeBron James' best player in 2018 was J.R. Smith.
Mm-hmm.
So and you're going up against 4 All-Stars with a prime Kevin Durant, right?
Right.
And then obviously 2019, LeBron James had a bunch of brats, LA brats, and he was injured for 6 weeks. So
with load management, of course.
Actually, I don't know if you guys, Kaelin, as an intellectual, you probably heard of this.
John, I don't know why you're dissing me all of a sudden.
No, I'm not. I'm dissing Will. I'm not dissing you.
Okay, go ahead.
Because Will does not know this, or rather refuses to acknowledge this.
Okay.
LeBron James had a very substantial groin injury. LeBron James was reportedly supposed to be out for 6 months. That's the rest of the season. LeBron James was out for 6 weeks. LeBron James did not have load management. LeBron James was recovering from a serious injury in his old age.
While working on a rap album.
Well, okay.
I'm not saying that's a bad thing. Okay. I'm just saying he's also working on a rap album.
Okay.
Who do you work with? 2 Chainz? Was it 2 Chainz?
He 2 Chainz came out with a rap album, and LeBron James just so happened to have a few. He was in the room basically.
No, but that was not supposed to be this. I'm just saying that's what people think is that he took a load management because he was working on a rap album with 2 Chainz.
Oh yeah, right. No, that's exactly. Everyone who thinks that is a moron.
I think they're just trying to fish for excuses.
Exactly. They can't have any more. They don't have any other excuse.
Yeah, there's no other excuse.
Did that just come out? That story?
No, that came out.
That was originally.
That came out in the summer. That when the Raptors won and everything, it came out that summer.
Mm-hmm.
By I want to say the Lakers head trainer or someone like that. But I mean, I was appalled. I was appalled. A hero of mine. I mean, LeBron James.
I will say that LeBron James and MJ have the same sort of mentality.
Nobody can tell me that LeBron James does not have nearly as good of a mentality as Michael Jordan. You can't.
Well, I'm sorry. What explain that? I'm not that like I'm trying to diss you. I didn't know what you said.
Michael Jordan has a good mentality, right? Mm-hmm. Like a killer mentality. LeBron James has that exact same mentality.
Exactly.
I've seen him take over the game. Chris Bosh's girl, LeBron James was having a shitty half. Okay, this is back in his first time with Cleveland. LeBron James was having a shitty half. They were going up against the Raptors. Chris Bosh's girlfriend was talking smack. LeBron James won the game for them, came back after like a 15, 20-point deficit. What is the word again that I'm looking
Deficit.
for? Thank you. Deficit. And
Gotcha.
LeBron James ended the game with like 35 points, right?
Uh-huh.
We see that. We see game 6 and 7 of the 2013 Eastern Conference Finals. LeBron James destroyed the Celtics. I mean, obliterated the Celtics.
Mm-hmm.
Won them the series.
Exactly. You see the same sort of mentality in Michael Jordan too. It was pretty much the whole documentary.
You do. You do see that same mentality.
No. It's in the documentary. As what the documentary said. Yes. How it's Michael Jordan only had 6 points in the half. Talk smack. Comes back. I don't know if that's how it went because apparently a bunch of people are saying it's not. But I'm just saying, as the documentary said, it's pretty much the same thing.
You know, I have absolutely no disagreements with anybody that says Michael Jordan has a top killer mentality.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he has a top killer mentality. I mean, you can't convince me that LeBron James has a lazy mentality or anything like that. Like, LeBron James spends every minute of every day in the goddamn gym. Like,
mm-hmm.
he spends millions of dollars on his diet and his body to be able to perform at a high level every single year. I mean, just because LeBron James dishes it out to players like Kyle Korver and Kyrie Irving in times of great importance does not mean that he doesn't have a killer mentality. It just means that he's smarter of a basketball player.
He's got a better – I will say he has a better IQ than Jordan did.
He has a better IQ than any basketball player to
And
ever
you know
play.
what? I think you're leading me towards LeBron because you just got me to say that he has a better IQ than him. So it's coming step by step.
And I'm going to take you home, pal. I'm going to take you home.
Go ahead, hold on. First, Kaelin, do you have any input on the mentality sort of thing on LeBron?
Yeah, you know, I mean, you see LeBron all the time, like you said, in the gym. He invests so much in himself to be the best player in the game currently. That I have no doubt that he has one of the best mindsets. I mean, like, and going back to like dishing to Kyrie, like that's IQ, that's trust, that's like being an amazing teammate. Like that's like I think that's just what gives him like his mentality, which makes him like the greatest player in my opinion. You know,
he also has a sort of mentality with like community. I didn't see Michael Jordan build a school.
Yeah.
To help troubled kids. I see him partying and gambling. So John, that's another advantage to you that I just said. So
Kaelin, have you watched The Last Dance?
I have not yet, but I do plan on it.
Okay, well I'm gonna sum it up for you right here. You ready for this?
I'm ready.
I found out. I watched the whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
Right, it was hard because it was so boring.
Bro, you even said. Never mind. Go ahead.
I have concluded 3 things about The Last Dance that I would like to share with you today.
I'm ready. Yep.
The first thing is that the only reason Michael Jordan is considered to be the GOAT is because of his early career endorsement deals that got his name out there and everything. And then the second, Michael Jordan starting to win championships. Don't get me wrong, those championships were, great feat. Repeating twice, that's impressive. But a lot of people have done that. So then we go over and we talk about the second thing. And the second thing is that John Paxson has saved Michael Jordan's career on multiple occasions.
Can you list another one? Can you list one? We're going back to another episode because I said the same exact thing. Can you list another time? They only listed one of them. So can you list another time where he saved them?
You can list there was a game 6 in 1992, I want to say.
Okay.
That John Paxson was the guy who got the ball and he shot the ball and he scored the ball.
Mm-hmm.
And that wasn't a game winner, it wasn't a buzzer beater, but it was the game sealer.
Okay.
There was a time in 1993 where Phil Jackson told Michael, he said, Michael, stop driving and stop missing. You're missing the ball. Stop it. So drive, dish it out to Paxton. He's wide open. He'll hit those shots. That's what happened. They came back from a 10-point deficit, won the series based off of that. In 1991, I want to say that in game 3, or maybe game 2, John Paxton got the ball. It was Michael Jordan was gonna he was gonna dribble. It was on an inbound pass. Michael Jordan got the inbound and he dribbled it up, and it wasn't the shot, but it was, he got the ball, dribbled it around. He was like double teamed or triple teamed, and he like barely dished it out to John Paxton, and John Paxton switched the ball. And I think those were the only years that John Paxton was on the Bulls. I don't think he was on it for 1996, 7, or 8.
I don't think so either.
So I just
okay.
gave you
So,
three
yeah.
different.
Yeah, okay. I didn't know. I thought you meant just straight game winners. I didn't know you meant game stealers. So I'll give it to you.
And
You
the
did
third
some
thing
research.
I found,
Oh, okay.
of course I did. The third thing I found about Michael Jordan from The Last Dance is that he was a jackass. Mans literally told another teammate of him that this teammate came up to Michael Jordan.
That
Michael
was
Jordan.
he was pretty
this
shitty
happened.
with his teammates. Yeah,
He was horrible with his teammates.
I
This
get that
guy
he
came
tried
up
to
to
push
Michael
him,
Jordan.
but it's a little too much.
It's too
Yeah.
far.
There's a difference between pushing a teammate to be the best player they can be and just being a dick for your own
Exactly.
You would, like, in my opinion, I would do some of the techniques he did, but then I'd also say, yo, you should probably do this instead of trying to like intimidate him and put like with Steve Kerr. He just Jordan obliterated him. And
Exactly.
then that gave him the urge. But like that, yeah, just encourage him too. You can dominate him, but then say how he can get better. Be like, yo, you're a good player. I can see it, but do this and this and
Exactly. And that's what Kobe did. Kobe encouraged his teammates more so than anything.
Mm-hmm.
And, he talked all of his shit. He talked all of his smack. But at the end of the day, Kobe went up and he said, like, for example, Luke Walton showed up to practice hungover. So Kobe Bryant bust his ass. He said, nobody is allowed to guard me except Luke Walton. Busted Luke Walton's ass. Didn't say anything, just busted his ass. And at the end of the day, Kobe Bryant said, I hope you know, don't come to practice hungover. Luke Walton said, okay, I got it. Kobe said, listen, you got talent, man. Keep it up. Keep up the good work. And
exactly. It's like that coach's mentality.
It's the coach's mentality.
You got to
Jordan did not have that.
You got to, push them, but then give them some words of encouragement.
Exactly. This teammate of Michael Jordan's, his wife was going into labor. And he told Michael Jordan, he's like, yo, I'm not going to be at practice tomorrow. My wife's going into labor. Michael Jordan slapped him in the face. That is assault. Michael Jordan could go to jail for that. Like, and obviously, nobody is going to go, report Michael Jordan and send him to jail. I wouldn't have either. But if I was that guy that Michael Jordan slapped, I would have beat the shit out of Michael Jordan. You can't even, I don't care who you are. You're not going to slap me that I said I'm going to miss.
When my kid is on the way?
my goddamn kid is on the way. I don't give a shit who you are. I don't care about your 3 championship rings. You don't need me. If you're so great, do it by yourself. I don't care.
Exactly.
Yeah. I think that's just what separates LeBron from Jordan. Like, you see Jordan trashing his teammates, but you don't see LeBron bringing his teammates down like that.
Exactly.
Like, you see LeBron trying to build his team up,
mm-hmm.
rather than Jordan trying to tear them down to make them to try to have them fit his mold. You have LeBron trying to push his teammates and build his teammates. And I mean, I don't know. LeBron may not be the perfect teammate. I think he is a great teammate, but I mean, I just don't think Jordan was a team player. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
Maybe he threw the ball out, he dished it, but I feel like that's not because he wanted to, but more because he had to. Where LeBron will make the smarter plays every single time, and I just think that it elevates him so much higher than Jordan.
Yeah, I think say Michael Jordan left in like 94, he went to sign to another team, like LeBron did with the Lakers.
Mm-hmm.
One of the first clip I seen with him in the Lakers, where he said, "Don't get yourself up. Your brothers will pick you up." That was the sort of thing that gave him the leadership right away.
Right.
Is encouragement, and to say that, "Oh, you ain't alone. You got all of us to dish the ball to. We'll pick you up." All that sort of shit. Jordan's just fucking demolishing these guys.
Yeah, and I mean, it's like LeBron instantly, I feel like, gained the Lakers' respect, not just for being a good basketball player, but being a good teammate, being a good person. Where I feel like while Jordan may have had respect for being a good basketball player, he was not as respected as a teammate or as a player, someone that could be coachable. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Oh, speak of the devil.
What, Michael Jordan text you?
Oh my God, I'd block him. I just saw a Twitter post, actually. Apparently, when Michael Jordan was on the Wizards, this guy scored on MJ during practice. Was on his own team. And he said, "You can't guard me with those weak-ass knees." And Michael Jordan stormed to the front office and had him traded that next day.
Is that like a confirmed, like,
Yeah,
that's 100%?
That's a confirmed thing. That's a confirmed thing.
Who's the source?
Let me find it.
That's see,
Because
like
I feel like this whole topic should be something that we could talk about in the next episode. It's just not the basketball side of MJ versus LeBron, but the sort of teammate / personality side.
Yeah. See, like, that's just like, you don't do that to a teammate.
Clutch
like,
points.
Clutch points?
Clutch points. It was Richard Hamilton.
Okay. All right,
I'm sorry. Laren Prophet.
All right,
was traded.
I'll look him up after this, see if you're a reliable resource.
I'll send you the link right now.
Okay, cool. But yeah, I feel like this should just be like, we should just stop there. We'll make this a topic for another episode, because I feel like we could talk for like at least a half hour on this sort of like subject.
I want this. This is my dream. Okay, this is what I want. I want a podcast with all four of us, including Will. I want to have Kaelin and myself, 100% LeBron fans, and I want to have swayed you, Luke. So it can basically be.
You know what I was just about to say? I was gonna say, I'm saying this now. By the end, if we ever end this podcast, I want you to end it persuading me to become a LeBron GOAT fan.
I think I can persuade you with one more argument.
I think you can. So I mean, who knows how long this podcast is gonna, be for? But you got till the end of this podcast to.
I want you to think. I want you to think of one thing that Michael Jordan is better at than LeBron James. Right off the top of your head.
Michael Jordan is better than LeBron James? Like, that's what you're saying?
Like I'm saying, can you think of one thing basketball related that Michael Jordan is better at than LeBron James? You can't think of anything.
How long are you giving me? How long of a time?
If you have to think about it, then
yeah, I think that proves the point. Yeah,
that proves the point. If you have to think about it, LeBron James is better.
John, I will say this. So you might not be able to persuade me this episode, but I will give you a percentage on how much I'm leaning towards LeBron now, which is 75 to 80%. So you're
70.
At the beginning of this podcast and even before this podcast, I was about, I'd probably say about 60-40 towards Michael Jordan.
Okay, what are you at now?
I'm at 75-25.
75-25 for LeBron?
Yeah.
So I think I understand what you're saying.
Yeah. Like, it's more of a balance, you know what I mean? It's more of a percentage sort of thing. So I'm 75% towards LeBron. MJ's still there. I still got some thoughts in my head that make me still think he's the GOAT. But, I'm not like Will, that my mind can't be changed. And who knows? Baby, Will might be trying to persuade me next episode if he decides to not fall asleep.
Listen, baby, I know that you're still struggling on the past, but we don't have to worry about that no more. We're new, okay? We're new.
Don't call me baby.
It's us. It's us now. All right?
All right. Well,
Just the four of us, all right?
if you want
Me,
to,
you, Kaelin, LeBron.
okay. If you want to, we can actually talk about this a whole lot more with Will here, because there's going to be a whole lot of sort of arguments that are going to be
Saying
said.
it right here for the viewers. Next podcast, it's going to be us four, and we're going to dog on Will. The whole podcast, LeBron, MJ.
Should we just make a whole long episode of just MJ versus LeBron?
MJ
That's what
versus
we're gonna
LeBron. That's the episode.
That's what we're gonna do.
I think we can
episode.
just make. Because we've been talking for over 20 minutes already on this one topic, so I think we can make an hour-long episode on it.
And Kaelin, honestly, that you know, this is your first podcast with us, but every single one of these podcasts always end up with LeBron or Michael. Who's better? Every single time.
I swear
that's just the historic debate, you know. That is the debate. That is the debate. So I mean, I can see that. Yeah, no, 100%.
So I feel as this episode comes out, prepared for the next episode. Once we can all get together to just have a straight long episode of just a debate between MJ, LeBron. We'll probably separate into categories like basketball, playing the athletic sort of side of it, and then we'll get to the personality, mindset, all that sort of stuff the second half. But I think we can make this an hour and a half long episode.
3 hour long episode.
Because Will and John are just gonna be debating. Kaelin's gonna be pitching in something.
We're gonna scream at each other. Kaelin is gonna say one or two comments about it, and Luke is just gonna sit here with a gun to his face.
Now you know what I'm gonna say. You know what I'm gonna say. You know what I'm gonna say.
What are you gonna say?
Every time something gets intense. All right. Next topic.
All right, next topic.
Next topic.
But we won't have a next topic, so you guys will
you won't be able to
on.
say your signature line anymore.
Well, not for at least that episode.
Yeah, not for that episode.
All right, but Kaelin, thanks for filling in for Will.
Anytime.
Yeah, we might actually, if you're down for it, if you want to become a permanent thing on this, we'll be glad to have you.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
So, how much money have we made so far, Luke?
Do you want me to check? Off our one sponsor.
We're getting some dough here, Kaelin.
Oh, yeah.
You know this. Yeah. Oh, yeah, we are.
Let's see. All right, so if we were to split it between 4 people, we'd each get 6 cents. We got 24. We got 24 cents made. $15 per 1,000 listeners. So, if you're listening out there, tell your friends. we need that $15. I got classes to pay for next year. I got everything. So, yeah, Kaelin will add you in the group chat, and we'll just talk about.
Wait, if it's per listen, does that mean I can just click it, exit out of it, click it, exit out of it?
No, it counts. So you can probably I've listened to the podcast, our first episode. I listened to our podcast in full to make sure, you know how there's that delay in Will's voice.
Yeah. I
checked that to see if maybe it was just the editing, but it wasn't. But that counted as a view, and I listened to it again, and it didn't count. So I'm guessing it's only 1 view per user.
Oh damn. Okay. Well, can I make a bunch of accounts then?
if you want
accounts,
to, if you want to,
I'm gonna make 1,000 accounts, and just Jesus Christ.
Hey, it's an investment. You gotta invest.
Exactly.
You gotta invest. I gotta get us that $15.
Any small companies want to sponsor us as well? Hit me up. We could talk.
I sponsor you, Luke.
You got any money to give me?
I have a company.
Yeah, Campochi Cafe.
No, I actually do. I started my fish rescue.
Well, I also have a company as well. So
what is it?
It's my photography business.
Ooh.
Well, that doesn't count.
What?
No, your business doesn't count. My business counts.
All right. Well, we're gonna end the podcast here. Stay tuned for the next episode. We'll have a LeBron versus MJ special. I'm not saying it will end the debate.
I'm gonna end it.
But we are going to spend a long time talking about it. That only topic. Then the next episode after that, we'll talk about all the news and stuff. Hopefully, there'll be a decision about the NBA returning at that point. So, yeah,
I think it's supposed to come out like next week.
Yeah, so expect at least the MJ versus LeBron special to come out next week. We'll figure out a place and time for that. And Kaelin, thanks for joining us.
Anytime.
We'll definitely see you next episode because we're gonna need as many people as we can get.
Oh yeah, I want to be a part of this debate. This
No
will be
problem.
fun to watch.
No problem. We just need a dog on Will because Will is just.
Just need to shit on Will. How about the whole debate is going to be trying to convince Luke who the GOAT is.
Okay, and then
I
at
think
the
that's
end
a more manageable goal. Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
so too. And then at the end of it, I'll say,
Who your GOAT is.
yeah. All right. So
Awesome.
make that a plan. Expect that next week. That's probably maybe even in the next 2 weeks because if we even record it next week, there's gonna be a shit ton of editing I gotta do. So, thanks to our sponsor Anchor. John, Kaelin, you got any last words?
Go
All you,
2-3.
Kaelin.
Go 2-3. Well, I mean the GOAT 2-3. You know, LeBron.
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah.
John?
LBJ. All I'm gonna say is, I mean, it's what I say every day. You know, if you don't believe LeBron's the GOAT, you should kill yourself. It's that simple. So.
I mean, that was your final thought last episode.
Yeah.
So can't you just change it up a little bit?
All right. Here's my new thought. If you don't believe that LeBron's the GOAT, then I want you to go and stick a blow dryer up your ass.
All right.
And turn it on.
You know what, John? I will give that creativity a 10.
Thank you.
No problem. All right. So thanks to our sponsor, Anchor. Catch us up next week or the next 2 weeks. Who knows? Special coming out, episode 6. And we'll see you then.
All right. I'll see you guys later.
All right.